Hello?
Hi there, I can hear you. Could you tell me your name and the entity you're here on behalf of?
Here, hold on.
I'm gonna try one more time. Can the person who's joined with the phone number ending in 280 please tell me your name and the name of the entity you're here on behalf of?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Uh,
Can you please tell me your
okay.
name and the name of the entity you're here on behalf of?
Yes, Matthew Hediger and Hediger Relocation Services. And I was not able to
Hang
get
on, hang on, hang
to,
on, hang on, hang on, hang on.
sorry.
Let me just give me a second to
Okay.
find you on my list.
Yep,
Hediger Relocation
absolutely.
Services?
Correct.
Okay. So my second question for you is, if you do you have any documents you're wanting to show today during the hearing? You'll get an
Mm,
opportunity to explain the situation and explain whatever you want to explain once the hearing begins. My question for you is just, do you have any documents you want to show?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna change your name on our screen so we'll know that that's you, Mr. Hediger.
Okay.
The hearing's going to start, and it's not going to start for another 7 or so minutes. So
Okay.
the judge will hop on around noon and go over what's going to happen today.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Oh, one more thing. Oh, you figured it out. I was going to tell you how to unmute
Oh,
with
sorry.
a phone, but it looks like you figured it out. So we're all set.
Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you.
afternoon. Before I start, I'd like to make sure with my court reporter and my court reporter is ready. Ms. Boulay, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Ms. Federico, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. I'm now calling proceeding number 24C-0114-INS. This is the Commission's bi-weekly insurance show cause proceeding set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. Today is March 27, 2024. It is now 12:01 p.m. My name is Aviv Segev, and I'm the administrative law judge assigned to hear this case. I want to inform or remind the parties that it's the Commission's practice to webcast legal proceeding and that both the audio and video feeds of this proceeding are being webcasted. We're also recording this hearing, and we have a court reporter who is transcribing everything that is being said. To avoid background noise, please keep your microphones muted until it is your turn to speak. When you do speak, please speak loudly and clearly. And do not talk over one another so that we can get a good, clean record. Zoom has a chat function. I'm asking that you do not use it to get my attention during the hearing. Let's start with entries of appearance. Mr. Horman, let's start with you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Josh Horman from the Colorado Attorney General's Office, representing the PUC staff. I'm here today with Marquita Riley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Horman. Mr. Hediger, I believe you're on the phone line connected to this hearing. Is that correct? Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, this is Matthew Hediger. I was unable to get to internet connection to where I could get on the web, so I'm just joining in on phone.
That is perfectly fine. Thank you. And can you tell us what company you're representing?
Hediger Relocation Services.
Thank you. And the full name is Hediger Relocation Services Company Incorporated. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Let me just, to the extent we might be able to let you go, let me just ask Mr. Horman if staff is still seeking to revoke Hediger Relocation Services Company Incorporated's permit or authority.
At this time, yes, Your Honor, we do intend to proceed. We do have, unrelated, we do have two dismissals that we could address at this time, but they are not Hediger Relocation Services. Understood.
So let's just wait with those. Given that, I'll now explain how this hearing will work. First, since the commission staff filed the complaints in this matter, staff has the burden to prove that the allegation in the complaints are true. This means that staff will present the evidence first. This usually comes in the form of witness testimony and document that staff may present as exhibits. Mr. Hediger, will have the opportunity to ask staff's witness questions. And if the staff asks for documents to be admitted, I will give you the opportunity, Mr. Hediger, to object. You can object if you believe there is a legal reason for the document not being admitted into evidence in this case. Once the commission staff presented their evidence, it will be your turn, Mr. Hediger, to present your evidence. You can testify if you'd like, and you can also present documents. I believe you mentioned to Ms. Federico that you do not have any documents, and that's, again, perfectly fine. But I will give you the opportunity to tell me everything you want me to know. I'm assuming since you're connected to this call, you would like to this hearing, you would like to testify. Is that correct, Mr. Hediger?
Correct.
Very good. It is my understanding, based on the record, that staff mailed the exhibits they plan to present to the email addresses of all the respondents, including you, Mr. Hediger. So if you have not already, you should check your email to see if you have the exhibits. This may make it easier. I see that I will hold my explanation because I see that somebody else joined this hearing. This individual is identified by the name Sirach. If I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So if that individual can kindly unmute him or herself and let me know their name and on behalf of what company they are appearing here today. You will give the individual another moment or so. Looks like.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, my mic is was off. Sorry.
Okay.
My name is Sirak Asrat, and on behalf of Star Limo Services LLC.
Star Limo Services LLC. And can you please, I can see your first name. Can you please state and spell your last name?
My last name is Asrat, A-S-R-A-T.
Okay. Now, let me check with Mr. Horman whether staff still wishes to proceed with your matter. And if not, I might you might leave the hearing, and so let's ask Mr. Horman. Does staff still seek to proceed with the complaint against Star Limo Services LLC?
Thanks, Your Honor. Staff does not intend to proceed today against Mr. Asrat. Their insurance was filed, updated accordingly, and they have been dismissed.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Horman. Mr. Asrat, did you hear that? That means that staff no longer seeks to revoke your permit or authority, so you're free to leave. You're of course welcome to stay if you'd like, but you're free to leave. You can tune in on the YouTube channel, the Public Utilities Commission YouTube channel, or you do not have to do that since again staff does not seek to revoke your or Star Limo Services LLC's permit or authority. Did you understand that?
Yes, I understand it. Thank you for helping.
Thank
Thank you. All right, have a good one. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let me just quickly finish my explanation as to the exhibits. So I was saying that if you have not already, you should check your email to see if you have those exhibits that staff sent email to you yesterday. It might make it easier to follow along. If not, that's not a big deal. You can still follow along on the Zoom session screen to the extent you have the access to a computer. Let's move on to the evidentiary portion of the hearing. Mr. Horman, is staff ready to present its evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
I'd like to call Marquita Riley as my first and only witness for today's hearing.
Thank you. Hello, Ms. Riley. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Horman.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Riley. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, Marquita Riley.
Who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
And what is your job title?
I'm the program assistant in the transportation unit.
What is your role in this proceeding?
I review the commission records and coordinate with commission staff for these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the commission's statutes and the rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
Can you tell us which statutes or rules require motor carriers to have evidence of financial responsibility?
Yes, per Rule 6008 requires that motor carriers maintain and file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
What needs to be provided to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, motor carriers must electronically file certain forms. An example will be a Form E as evidence of financial responsibility.
How long does this evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when a certificate of insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What is the next step when you receive a notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
We use the commission's OpRights database to compile a list of motor carriers that we received advance written notice of cancellation.
And before we turn to specific exhibits, were the exhibits for today's hearing provided to all respondents?
Yes, they were.
And how were the exhibits provided to the respondents?
I created a list of the permit and certificate numbers, as well as the email addresses that we have on file provided by the respondents. I then created the exhibits and email lists, sent that over to the AG's office. The AG's office then emailed all of that to the respondents.
And can we please pull up what's been previously marked as hearing exhibit 1? Thank you. Mr. Riley, can you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the motor carriers that the commission received that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
And who prepared this list?
Commission staff.
How was it prepared?
We use the commission's OpRights database to compile the list.
And when did staff prepare this list?
On March 11th, 2024.
Can you describe on this document where the date appears?
Yes, it's on the bottom right corner.
Thank you. Does the commission create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see in Exhibit 1 as part of the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain documents like Exhibit 1 as part of its business record in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit Exhibit 1.
Mr. Hediger, do you have an objection to what's previously been marked as hearing exhibit 1 being admitted into evidence?
No.
Hearing exhibit 1 is admitted.
Ms. Riley, based on this list, what action did the commission take?
The commission sent a letter to each respondent.
I'd now like to turn your attention to what has previously been marked as hearing exhibit 2. Can you please describe what these documents are?
These are copies of the letters sent to each respondent on today's updated list.
And what does the information in the letters tell the respondents?
The letter explains that all operations under its authority may be suspended as of the date the insurance coverage expires, unless proof of proper insurance is filed with the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondents that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
When did the commission send these letters?
The letters were sent on March 11th, 2024.
Is it the practice of the commission to create letters like these in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain letters like Exhibit 2 as part of its records in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Mr. Hediger, do you have an objection to what has been marked as hearing Exhibit 2? The admission?
No.
You do not have an objection?
No. I do not.
Thank you. Hearing Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes, per Rule 6006 requires that the motor carriers establish and maintain a designated agent.
Were these notice letters sent to the addresses of the designated agents provided to the commission?
Yes.
How did the commission serve these letters?
The letters were served through first-class postal mail.
Let's turn to what's been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3. Thank you. Ms. Riley, can you please describe this document and the information it contains?
Yes, this is the attachment sent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2. This attachment contains information on how to participate in today's video conference hearing.
When was this attachment sent to the respondents?
On March 11th, 2024.
Is it the commission's standard practice to include this attachment with the notification letters to the respondents when it holds an electronic hearing?
Yes.
Did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain attachments like Exhibit 3 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit hearing Exhibit 3.
Mr. Hediger, do you have an objection to the admission of what has previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3?
I do not.
Thank you. Hearing Exhibit 3 is admitted.
Now, if we could please pull up hearing Exhibit 4. Ms. Riley, can you please describe this document?
This is the certificate of service for the notice letters and attachment sent to each respondent.
Did the commission create this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain certificates like this in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit hearing Exhibit 4.
Hediger, do you have an objection to the admission of what was previously marked as hearing Exhibit 4?
I do not.
Thank you. Hearing Exhibit 4 is admitted.
The language on the certificate states whose name and addresses appear below, and below that it states see hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And if we could return to hearing Exhibit 2, which is the notice letter, thank you. The letter informs the respondent about what happens if it can provide evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. If the commission receives evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens?
We then do not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
Did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yes, we did.
If we could please look at what's been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 5. Can you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that we still do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file.
Did staff create this list the same way as you described for hearing Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Who created this document?
Commission staff.
When was it created?
On March 25th, 2024.
Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain the updated hearing cycle listing in Exhibit 5 as part of its records in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
If we could just scroll through the entire document. Thank you. And Your Honor, staff moves to admit Exhibit 5 into evidence.
Mr. Hediger, do you have an objection to the admission of what was previously marked as hearing Exhibit 5?
I do not.
Hearing Exhibit 5 is admitted.
Did staff send a letter to all motor carriers listed in Hearing Exhibit 5?
Yes.
Do the addresses listed in Hearing Exhibit 5 match the carriers' addresses in Hearing Exhibit 2?
Yes.
When is the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of carriers in Exhibit 5?
This morning, March 27th, 2024.
Are you aware of any pending applications affecting a common and contract carriers listed in Hearing Exhibit 5?
We do not have any pending applications at this time.
Does staff recommend dismissing any carriers listed in Hearing Exhibit 5?
Yes, actually, there is 3. We have Legacy Transport LLC, PUC number LL-04065, and Star Limo Services LLC, PUC number LL-03880. Insurance has been updated for those 2 companies. And then we also have Kaylee Transportation Services LLC, PUC number CSB-00247. That respondent filled out a cancellation form for their permit.
Ms. Frederico, could you scroll up to page 3 of this document? Hey, Ms. Riley, do you see Star Limo Services listed at the bottom of this page?
Yes.
Ms. Frederico, would you mind scrolling up to page 2? Ms. Riley, do you see Kaylee Transportation Services listed on this page?
Yes.
And do you also see Legacy Transport LLC on this page?
Yes.
Thank you. Are you aware of any letters returned to the commission?
We did not have any return letters for this proceeding.
And did you attempt to notice the carrier in any other manner, not matter?
We did not have any return mail for this proceeding number today.
Thank you.
Mhm.
When does the, sorry, Ms. Frederico, you can take this exhibit down. Thank you. Ms. Riley, when does the decision made after this hearing become a final commission decision?
The recommended decision would come a final commission order decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the recommended decision if no exceptions are filed.
What happens if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes a final order of the commission?
The recommended decision will not be enforced against that particular respondent.
And what is staff's recommendation today?
Staff recommends that the certificate of permit numbers listed on here in Exhibit 5 be revoked due to lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Kaylee Transportation Services LLC, Legacy Transport LLC, and Star Limo Services LLC.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Your Honor, I have nothing further.
Thank you very much, Mr. Horman, Ms. Riley. Mr. Hediger, do you have any cross-examination questions for Ms. Riley based on her testimony or the complaint that was filed against Hediger Relocation Services Company Incorporated?
I don't believe, I do not, I don't believe so. I guess my only thing would be, because I'm not 100% sure on how to go about this, because I'm actually shutting my company down, so is there a way I can just send in I heard of something about a cancellation? Is there, I guess my question would be, is there a cancellation that I can do to provide in order to appease the commission.
Understood. So I will let Ms. Riley answer this question, but you do not have a cross-examination question. I understand what you're trying to do, and I will let you present your case. But you do not, based on Ms. Riley's testimony, I have to, and I am giving you the opportunity to ask her what we call cross-examination or question based on her testimony. It appears you do not have a question about it, and it also appears you would like to testify, which again I understand, and I will give you the opportunity. In that case, Ms. Riley, you are excused. However, I'm requesting that you remain on the line so that you may be able to answer any questions that Mr. Hediger has. So now we'll move on to your presentation of your case, Mr. Just before that, Mr. Horman, does staff rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Given that, Mr. Hediger, you've already told me a little bit about your situation and that you would like to shut down and cancel your permit. So is that all you want me to know, or is there any additional testimony you would like to give?
I mean, well, I'm just shutting down the company. I really haven't. I haven't been moving people for a couple months now. I'm just what they call winding down. I'm trying to get all my assets sold off and everything, which should be here in about the next month or so. And I guess I was just unaware of the step to take to cancel or send in a cancellation notice to the commission.
Understood. So why won't I have Ms. Riley answer your question? I understood and noted, and I understand that you no longer wish to operate this business, your business, and cancel your permit. So let me put Ms. Riley on, if she would, and she will explain to you the next steps for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Hediger, I will get in contact with you via email as soon as the hearing is over. I will email you that cancellation form. And then if you could just email back directly to me, we could go on and get your permit canceled. You could then show that form to your insurance company if you need to, but we'll go on and get everything situated as soon as the hearing is over.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
Great.
Mr. Hediger, I apologize. I forgot to swear you in before you gave your testimony. So let's do that. I can't see you, but I trust that you would. So please raise your right hand, and I will ask you a question. Sure. I'd like for you to answer it. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you have given was the truth?
I do.
Thank you. I believe that's I believe that's all we have for today. You said, Mr. Hediger, you said that you do not have any documents you wish me to consider. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Horman, do you have any cross-examination questions for Mr. Hediger?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And does staff have any rebuttal evidence to present?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, this completes the evidentiary portion of the hearing. I will take this matter under advisement and issue a written recommended decision. That decision will not be effective immediately. It will be effective 20 days after it is mailed, assuming no exceptions are filed. The mailing date will be stated on the first page of the recommended decision. So you respond, Mr. Hediger, and all respondents who may be listening to this hearing online, You should pay close attention to the mail date that will be at the top of the recommended decision. You should make sure that the commission has the correct mailing address for your company or companies. My written decision will be sent by U.S. mail. The decision will include the information on what you can do to avoid revocation of your authorities. I do not know when exactly the decision will be mailed, but as I've already noted, you will have 20 days from the mail date to take action before the decision becomes a final commission decision. Thank you all for your presentations and appearing here today. This will include the hearing. Any last minute questions? Hearing none, we're adjourned. So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you so much. You as well.